When Samson and his family arrived in Harrogate, it was already a well-known and affluent spa town. The area's natural sulphur springs were thought to have significant healing properties, and people came from all over Britain to take the waters and recuperate from illness. Only 15 miles from Leeds, it was a far more refined and sophisticated world, which attracted the cream of Yorkshire society.
Hello.
Emilia.
Malcolm.
Hello, welcome.
Emilia has come to Grove House, a large mansion on the outskirts of the town, at the invitation of local historian Malcolm Neeson.
What an amazing house.
It is rather grand, isn't it?
It is.
Samson came to Harrogate in 1882 and he settled here at Grove House.
In this house?
Yes, this was his home.
I didn't realise.
And there are signs of this, if you care to look around. You can see here, for example, this magnificent fireplace,
yes,
which he had built. And you can see his initials up here, SF.
Yes.
There's a splendid photograph, which I have here, sitting outside Grove House. Now, there's Samson and members of the family. Then this is Willie, his eldest son.
Willie's turning out to be a bit of a dandy already.
You can tell that from the posture, yes, and the costume.
While still the managing director of the Leeds Forge Company, Samson spent more and more of his time in Harrogate using his newfound wealth to transform Grove House into a stately home, fit for a member of the landed gentry.
Here's the main salon. Here's the fireplace, where we're seated now.
Gosh, it's hardly changed at all, has it?
This is the art gallery, Grove House.
How extraordinary.
Samson described it as the music room. And indeed, if you look at the end of the photograph, you can see the piano. And Willie was noted to be an accomplished violinist. Here are the stables, with a fox, of course, on the weather vane.
They're magnificent. I'd be quite happy living in the stables.
Oh, these are the carriages. Now, today, you've got to imagine a garage full of Ferraris, Porsches and Rolls Royces. And here, this is an interesting feature, the Turkish baths. This is for horses.
What? It's for horses? A Turkish bath?
Yes, it was the only one in the country that we know of.
No. I definitely apply for the job of Samson's horse in a next life, I think.
At the heart of Samson's renovation of Grove House lay an underground workshop where he was developing his next big industrial innovation.
This is the photograph of the laboratory. He never rested. He was constantly improving things. At this time, he was working on his water gas experiments. You know about water gas?
No.
Well, it was really a powerful new form of energy Fox developed.
Samson had come across water gas during a business trip to the US. A mixture of hydrogen and carbon, it was made by passing superheated steam across red-hot coke. Water gas burned brighter and hotter than conventional coal gas, which in the 1880s was used to light homes and streets across Britain. Samson realized that water gas could potentially replace coal gas, and 20 years before the spread of electric lighting, he built water gas plants at the Leeds Forge Company and at his new home in Harrogate.
Grove House was lit by water gas. There were about 250 outlets here in Grove House, mostly chandeliers, but also in the kitchens. So the whole house was powered by water gas.
So he found a new energy source?
He thought he had, yes. Now, this was in 1890, and by then Samson was mayor of Harrogate.
Mayor?
He'd become mayor in 1888, yes. And the first thing he did as mayor was to offer to light the centre of Harrogate with this new invention of water gas. I have some newspaper cuttings here. Would you like to see them?
Yes, please. This week we'll see the water gas plant up, and then I am told the public, dazzled by the bright beams of the new illuminant, will hold up their hands in amazement and cry, "What a gas!" Brilliant.
There's another extract here from the advertiser of the 9th of August, 1890.
Wednesday night last furnished a sight hitherto, we venture to assert, unseen in England or the continent. The utilisation of water gas as an illuminant for public street lighting.
Apparently it gave off an absolutely magnificent light. They used to say, "Come and see what the Mayor of Harrogate has done. He's bottled the sun."
Oh, my goodness.
They put trains on from all over the north of England to bring in tourists to see it. If you look at this column there...
We shall be greatly mistaken if the report of this successful experiment does not attract to the town many hundred gentlemen interested in public lighting from neighbouring boroughs. And if such a report could reach the foreign press, no doubt we might see the foreigner in our streets. This success cannot but affect favourably the interests of those who have had the courage to hold on to their water gas shares undismayed by panic. And what's this last bit about, with those holding on to their water gas shares undismayed by panic?
Samson believed in this product thoroughly. He really believed it. It was the way of the future. And so a syndicate was set up to sell shares to the public. But unfortunately, there was a problem with that, and that was when the shareholders began to show signs of panicking, because they weren't certain how this was going to turn out. And you really ought to consult with a financial expert on this, but it was a very big matter.
Right. Well, thank you so much for enlightening me about Samson's life in Harrogate.
Oh, it's been a real pleasure.